Sorry it took so long. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my live stream. This is Jacob Cast 2024. Gonna do my WWE Monday Night Raw review. We're gonna talk about Monday Night Raw January 6th, 2025. This is the first Raw of the. Well, actually, yeah, this is the first Raw of the new era in 2025. Monday Night Raw debut on Netflix. It's not on USA Network no more. It's on Netflix now. But I did see highlights on YouTube and on Twitter. So we will go through what happened on the show tonight. I just want to say, make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section if y'all want to see more. I'll make this live stream about an hour. I will talk about everything that happened on the show. We'll talk about the matches. There's only 4 matches. I will talk about some of the backstage segments. I will talk about the news and rumors in WWE, the Royal Rumble, what the plans are, what the build WrestleMania look like. Now, my video has been sponsored by my favorite podcasters like Post Wrestling, No DQ, Steve Larson, Joe Cronin, Fightful, JD from New York, Salamoth the Sound Off, and Argo. Now this is the other podcasters on the show. This is what happened on the show here. Oh, as I said, only 4 matches. This show felt underwhelming. It was a letdown. It was very disappointing. There are only 4 matches on the show. Here's the post show. Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Hold on. So we had John Cena and now Roman Reigns on the show. Hope I didn't miss no one else. Just want to make sure I didn't miss no one else here.
We'll probably auction these off and donate it to a children's hospital.
I want to show you guys all the other podcasters before I can continue this. So if you're watching the post show. The only big return that we got on Monday Night Raw was The Rock and John Cena. Now we all knew that they would be there, very obvious. We did see Logan Paul, but he was in the crowd.
I've never seen any of those Fast movies, but I was kind of fascinated with the feud between those guys. With Dan calling his little brother and all that shit. Rock was just so much more physically impressive than.
Alright, now I'm going to show you guys the other podcasters. As you guys know, The Rock will be at NXT tomorrow. Maybe for a cameo appearance. We'll see what The Rock says. Maybe it will progress the story of what is going to happen. Now let's show the other ones here.
It seems too easy for him to have the miraculous win, as he puts it, in the Rumble. Punch his lottery ticket, you know? Yeah. Go to Mania and win there.
Console noise. He's bringing this cable out. And somehow this man did not see Roman leave the ring, run around the ring, and catches him blindsided with a drive-by.
Alright, now let's show the other ones.
Farewell tour. John Cena made his return to WWE. Massive ovation for.
That's all we really got here. John Cena kicks off his farewell tour. The Rock returns. CM Punk and Seth Rollins was the main event. They already announced it. It was scheduled to be the main event. It was a very good match. CM Punk won, but that was it. There was no big return, no debut. I think Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa should have main event because it was tribal combat for the Ulafala to see who's the real tribal chief. And based on what we got in that match, I think that should have main evented than over Punk and Rollins. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan was a very good match. They said it was supposed to be a last moment standing match, but they changed it to there's no DQ, I guess, where there were pinfalls and submissions. But either way, Rhea Ripley won the belt like we all knew she would. She finally won the title back. She now can end the feud and move on. We had Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre. This might have been the depth slot of the show. Wasn't really that good. It felt underwhelming. Jey Uso win with a roll up. Logan Paul was on the show, but there was nothing. He was in the crowd, like nothing much was going on there.
Sparkle? Life doesn't always go as planned, which is why Domino's is giving you an emergency pizza.
Hate the damn
Happened
commercials.
tonight.
Yeah.
Right? But again, we go back to what we talked about in the beginning of this show, was that this was for a casual fan.
Yeah.
And that was one thing that as wrestling
No, you did. You probably did. But it's good to be.
we get The Rock at the end.
So,
The Rock comes in.
About 5 days before Bad Blood, I'd say about a week from what I heard, they really definitively said,
Here's Just Alice. Here's the Grim Experience.
This is showing Austin 316. This is cool. That smell.
But when we come back, we're gonna have
We still don't know who the. Well, they still got that tournament going on with the Women's Intercontinental Champion. We don't know yet. I don't think we saw Gunther on the show. I don't think we saw Braun Breaker on the show. And we don't know who their next feud gonna be. The War Wizards, they weren't in anything big tonight. This show was completely underwhelming. It really was. I can't wait to see what my podcasters have to say about this. Gotta wait for Salamander and JD to speak. Alright, so might as well just show you what else happened on this show. Now I'm gonna show you what else happened on Monday Night Raw. This is how the show opened up. The Raw Netflix era has officially arrived. Triple H kicks off Raw with a Netflix era with a bang. And then after Triple H was done talking, The Rock makes an electrifying entrance. Came out tonight. He still holds that title that was given to Muhammad Ali's widow, Lonnie, at the Hall of Fame last year. He's still carrying that around. He's still wearing the same clothes that he did last year, so he's still a heel. He's still the final boss. The Rock came out, acknowledged Cody Rhodes, acknowledged Reigns. He set the stage for tribal combat. I think this had to be teasing something. I think we will get Rock and Cody. I don't know if we're going to get Rock and Roman based on what we saw at the end of this right here. I thought it was a very good match. They used a lot of weapons. We saw some interference from the Bloodline. Fatu got involved. Tama Tonga got involved. Sami Zayn and Jimmy Uso got involved. Out of nowhere, we did see Kevin Owens get involved in the match. Went after Roman Reigns. Hits a stunner. Cody Rhodes, his entrant came out. He came out, beat up Kevin Owens. They brawled in the crowd. And in the end, we Roman Reigns pins Sosa Code 1, 2, 3. And they announced, and the only tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And Paul Heyman was in the ring. He had the Ulafala. The Rock walked down to the ramp. He walked down to the ring, and The Rock crowns Roman Reigns with the Ulafala and shook his hand and acknowledged Roman Reigns. What does that mean? I really thought The Rock would come and maybe cost Roman Reigns the match and help Solo win and maybe turn heel on Roman, and that sets up, okay, Rock and Roman at WrestleMania. Or maybe The Rock turns heel. That when we find out he's in charge of this new bloodline. It was him that was calling the shot, pulling the strings. But I guess not. We don't know what bloodline story. We don't know what's gonna happen. Now they did say Fightful did report that Roman Reigns will be on Monday Night Raw on January 27th. So we gotta wait for a couple of weeks to see what the Roman Reigns say. What's he gonna say about his win against Solo and The Rock and acknowledging him? What The Rock gonna say on NXT tomorrow night? What can happen? What's the next storyline in the Bloodlines chapter? Or is it over? Is it over? Like, are we moving on? I hope not. Something else had to happen here. There had to be something. I think if it felt too easy and too simple, like to have him win clean against Solo and win back the Ulufala, I really hope that the Rock were gonna turn heel, but nothing happened. Maybe this is all a troll. Maybe it might be a swerve. It might be a swerve. Is Sami Zayn in the bloodline? Out of the loop? Well, Sami's in the bloodline for now, based on the storyline, and in the bloodline Civil War. After that, we did get John Cena come out, made a massive Royal Rumble announcement. He did acknowledge that he hasn't won a match in 2,000 and something days. He hasn't won a singles match on live television in 6 years. Now, he did announce that he will be in the Rumble. He teased that this will be his last Rumble. As you guys know, 2025 is John Cena's last year. And the Rumble will be his last Rumble. He teased to win it. He teased to go to WrestleMania and hopefully win number 17. Now, I wonder what numbers are going to come out. Is it going to be early or late? And who's going to eliminate John Cena? Because that right there will tell a story. Who will John Cena face at WrestleMania? We didn't see Logan Paul. I was hoping that someone was going to interrupt him and maybe attack him to set up a feud. Logan Paul was in the show. How come that didn't happen? Gunther didn't come out. We didn't see Braun Breaker. There was no Goldberg. Thank God, no Goldberg came out. The second match tonight was Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. I thought the match was a last woman standing match, but I guess they changed it to, I think it was no DQ, or was it? I think it was no DQ. But it was Rhea versus Liv for the Women's World Championship. Liv Morgan. She destroyed Raquel. She destroyed Dominic. It was a very good match and a very good ending, a decisive win. It looked like the feud is over finally, after all these months, after great storytelling, but it did drag and people were over it. So now we all knew that Rhea Ripley was gonna win back the title. She was always set to win that title. She'll walk into WrestleMania as champion, and we'll see who she faces at WrestleMania. What's next for her? It was a very good feud, a long feud. They had a very good match here. So happy that Rhea won. After Rhea hit the Riptide on Liv Morgan, she actually hit the move twice and pinned Liv Morgan to win back the title. And after she won, she there was a moment with her and Dominic where Dominic tried to hug Rhea. He wanted back in, he wanted to be back with Rhea, but Rhea wasn't gonna fall for that, so she low blowed Dominic and hit a Riptide on him. Hit the Riptide on Dominic. So it looks like the feud's over. Rhea's now done with Dominic. We'll see what happens next week. She also celebrated with the crowd. She celebrated with The Undertaker. The Undertaker came out at the American Badass, and they celebrated. We all know the history between them. That was a good celebration. Who's your favorite wrestler? Hold on. Who's your favorite wrestler? My favorite wrestler is well, CM Punk really. I was always a fan of CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Cena. I respect John Cena for what he's done with the business. The Rock was my favorite too. Stone Cold. The Undertaker was my favorite of all time, so I think I'll put it at that. The Undertaker was my favorite of all time. The American Badass was my favorite character of The Undertaker, so I'll go with that. Alright, now let's move on. We got Jey Uso Yeast with Travis Scott in epic entrance. Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre were pretty much the death slot of tonight. The crowd was dead for this match. The match felt was They went really quick. There wasn't really any story going into this match. It was just there to give them something to do. And I was surprised that Jey Uso got the win over Drew McIntyre. He actually won with a roll up. So protect Drew just a little bit. Alright, there's Punk and Rollins. Now I actually want to show you guys Solomon. About to show you guys the other podcaster.
Rollins.
Let's see what Solomon had to say. I missed a couple of this.
Drones. But apparently that's something we're going to be seeing more of. They love their drone shots. The show looked great. From a production standpoint, the show looked slick. I mean, they had all kinds of different camera shots. This was the first Raw on Netflix. I personally did not have any issues as far as streaming the show, so I didn't have any lag. I didn't have any glitches. Everything on that end. From a technical standpoint, it looked good. It worked well for me. You know, hey, fingers crossed. Hopefully it continues that way. I certainly hope. But yes, this was the first time that Raw, believe it or not, was simulcast live all throughout the world at the same time across all time zones, which has never been done before. So no matter where you were in the world, you got to watch Monday Night Raw live and in living color. And this was a big show. This will go down as the biggest Raw of all time. Not the best Raw of all time, but in terms of promotion, in terms of all the months of promotion and the commercials and the airtime they devoted to January 6th, all of the big names that they flew in for this show. You had The Rock back on the show tonight. You had John Cena. You had The Undertaker making a cameo. Of course, you had all of their current stars as well. You had Roman Reigns in the ring wrestling, CM Punk in the ring wrestling, and Cody Rhodes was there, and Seth Rollins. I mean, everybody was there tonight. But The Rock is the one that I was most interested in seeing for a variety of reasons. Because as you know, we are heading into WrestleMania season, right? It's the beginning of January. We're going to be heading into the Royal Rumble soon. We all know what happened last year. Heading into WrestleMania when The Rock showed up, okay? Everything got blown to fucking smithereens. And The Rock had one idea for what he wanted to do, and the fans had another idea, and things ended up the way they did. Things worked out okay. We got the final boss. We got the Hollywood Rock theme back. Cody finished his story. It all worked out in the end. But when The Rock shows up, The Rock is going to get what he wants. What does The Rock want? What does The Rock want going into WrestleMania? Does The Rock want to wrestle? Does The Rock not want to wrestle? If he wants to wrestle, who does he want to wrestle? Does he want to wrestle Cody Rhodes? Sure doesn't look like it after what we saw tonight. Does he want to wrestle Roman Reigns? Does he want to wrestle? Who knows? Right? We don't know. So what would The Rock be doing on this show? And we got our answer. The Rock showed up, and he came out to his final boss theme. And he had his people's title with him. He looked exactly, same way we saw him the last time. We saw him in Bad Blood. He had that fucking belt over his shoulder. But beyond that, what we got tonight was Dwayne. We got corporate Rock, who was there basically, thanking the fans and thanking Netflix and thanking everybody. And he was in a very jovial mood, and he was nice, and he was putting over Cody Rhodes and putting over Roman Reigns and all of these different people. Not any hint whatsoever at heel Rock that we had last year leading into WrestleMania. And no indication at all tonight that The Rock is going to be wrestling anybody at WrestleMania this year. Which, of course, does not mean that he won't be. But if you, like me, were hoping to get some sort of, insight into what he might be doing, we didn't get that tonight. I think a lot of people are going to be very upset about that because you were hoping for something. You were hoping for some little morsel of something. They didn't give you anything. There were moments there after Tribal Combat where it looked like maybe something was going to happen. And then nothing did. And then Rock left in the middle of the show. Not only did he leave, he streamed it live on Instagram as he left. But he did announce that Rock did that he's going to be on NXT tomorrow night. So they're going to be filming NXT at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles being where they were tonight. Of course, The Rock's daughter happens to be the general manager of NXT, so not a huge surprise that he would make a pit stop there. But that is where he will be. And we will get into what The Rock said and what The Rock did and did not do tonight on the show. But the show tonight was built around a main event of Seth Rollins and CM Punk. This is a deeply personal feud that has been simmering now for over a year. But really, it's been simmering for many years. It was supposed to happen at WrestleMania last year. Punk got hurt, didn't happen. So now, we got it tonight. Didn't even wait until WrestleMania. We got Seth Rollins and CM Punk on this show tonight. And I thought they had what was a very good main event. Started out, it was actually quieter than you would have expected, and it just didn't have that, like in the early going, it didn't have that feel like from the fans, like you would think they would be reacting even more to it. But as the match will, that Punk and Rollins is going to be one and done. Anything's possible, but I would be very surprised if there wasn't some kind of follow-up to this, some sort of rematch at some point, which could be at WrestleMania. I mean, there's been a lot of rumors floating around about what CM Punk is going to be doing at WrestleMania, what Roman Reigns is going to be doing at WrestleMania, and Cody and Cena, and all of these people. And as I always say, some sources are more trustworthy than others, but the thing you got to remember when it comes to this time of year, you're going to hear a lot of things. And I'm going to be talking about a lot of these rumors and reports. You're going to hear it from a lot of different podcasters and news websites. Nothing, as far as WrestleMania is concerned, until we have a Royal Rumble winner who declares which championship they want to challenge for, okay? As far as WrestleMania goes, nothing is etched in stone this early in the year. I'm sure they have a sense of where they're going to go. I mean, Triple H has to, at this point, have some sense of what he wants to do, but we don't know yet, and we're not going to know for a while. So all of these potential matches that we're going to be talking about and theorizing about, that's all it is. It's just a theory at this point. We could very well get a rematch with CM Punk and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. That rematch could be for the World Heavyweight Championship, or we could not get that at all. Where that would leave Rollins, I don't know. But if Punk wasn't wrestling Rollins, it would almost surely be Roman. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, the battle for the Ula Fala. That's what kicked off the show tonight. And we got a clean winner there as well. It seems like that part of the Bloodline story finally is over, and we appear to be moving on to another chapter. But again, no indication what that chapter is going to be. There was no big surprise. There was no swerve. No, Heyman didn't turn on Roman. Rock didn't turn on Roman and attack him or anything like that. It was very, they played it very safe. And I have found myself saying that many times lately about Triple H. He did it at Survivor Series. He did it on Saturday night's main event, where there were opportunities to do something different. And there were opportunities to, I'm not saying swerve people and shock them for the sake of just doing it. You know, obviously there would be a storyline reason for it, but he didn't do it. And what they did was very predictable, and they played it straight. And that's really what they did tonight. They played it safe, and they played it straight. And there really were no big surprises coming out of the show. I think if you were to have come up with predictions for what you thought would happen tonight, chances are those predictions are exactly what happened. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing. But if you were expecting something out of this, some big out-of-this-world angle or something out of left field, we didn't get it. John Cena was on the show tonight. First stop on his retirement tour, and he did the deal. He did the deal, and what I mean by that is he said what I said he was going to do, because it's the thing that made the most sense, which is he declared for the Royal Rumble. So John Cena becomes the first person officially entered into the 2025 Royal Rumble match, which will be his last. And he automatically, just by virtue of being in the match, automatically rockets up to the #1 spot as the favorite, the early favorite to win the men's Royal Rumble match. If I had to sum up tonight's show, in a way that I think makes sense, tonight felt like it was about ending stories before the new ones begin, with no real indication of what those new ones are going to be. They left you with more questions than answers. That really is what tonight was about. It was about putting a nice little bow on certain stories. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, they've been feuding for months. I don't want to see Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania, do you? Well, now we don't have to worry about that because Roman Reigns beat Solo Sikoa, and now he can move on to the next. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, they've been feuding for over a year, feels like. Maybe a little less. Actually, no, you know what? It is more than a year. You want to take it all the way back to when Rhea injured Liv. They've been feuding now for well over a year. There was no way they were going to be able to drag this thing out until WrestleMania. They already dragged it out long enough, longer than they should have. Tonight had to be the end. And it was. Rhea Ripley beat Liv Morgan. She is once again the Women's World Champion. They ended that story, and now Rhea Ripley can move on to the next. CM Punk beat Seth Rollins. I sure hope that's not the end of that, but it could be. That was the story about tonight. Where these stories are going to lead us, they left us waiting to find out. They certainly didn't give us any real clear indication of that tonight. There was another rumor going around that it stemmed from the photo. On Friday, there was a photo that somebody from WWE obviously leaked on their social media of the ring mat. And this was at SmackDown, but we have all the Netflix and Fortnite and is Hulk Hogan's Real American beard. I mentioned all the legends who. This was the most amazing part of the entire. This is my favorite part of the entire show, just because of the absurdity of it. Like, how did they not know? Okay, how did his name to have gone? Maybe, but not Blood Brothers. So I don't know.
Back into the turnbuckle.
Now let's see what JD from New York had to say.
$100.
Wait, it says CM Punk called out Cody Rhodes and Gunther. Oh yeah, well he did tease to win the Rumble. I'm not sure if he will. Elden Johnson.
Appreciate you gentlemen very much. Tonight's show was a very split, down the middle type of show for anybody that watched it. You're going to get your business enthusiasts who say WWE did the right thing tonight. It was a Grand Slam show. Could not have asked for a better show on Netflix. And they may be partially correct. They may be partially correct in that statement. Then on the other hand, you're going to get people, and you're going to get fans like myself and a lot of people in this chat room right now that do feel, like David Theron perfectly said, a little underwhelmed. You are definitely going to get some people that are going to feel underwhelmed after what they saw tonight. And I'm here to tell you that is perfectly okay. You have every right. I have every right to feel underwhelmed. You and I have every right to feel and ask the question, why weren't there more stories forwarded tonight? Why didn't they do what everybody thought they were going to do when Triple H came out on the Netflix Raw Kickoff show at the WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut a couple of weeks ago? He said, January 6th marks the road, officially, to the road to WrestleMania. Everybody thought that that was going to mean we're going to forward stories, things are finally going to happen. Things happened. Things certainly happened. People certainly showed up. There was a buzz in the air. There was an excitement in the air that was felt all day long on social media. I felt it. You felt it. Everybody felt it. The production that WWE gave us tonight, second to none. The grandiose spectacle that was Monday Night Raw for a debut show on a new platform. It's fucking incredible. The drone shots, the visuals, the Intuit Dome, the way that it was set up, visually impeccable. Everything about it was perfect. Everything about it was perfect. Except for the actual show. WWE they tend to do this more than I really want to see. And it's overhype the shit out of everything that they do. And I get it. It's Business 101 next week. I don't really understand how people watched this show and didn't feel underwhelmed. WWE did more tonight to attract a new viewer to their product than they did to appease the people that are already invested. Yeah. And we'll worry about everybody else because they're already on board. They've already bought into what we're selling. We'll worry about them in the weeks to come. Tonight, it's about everybody else that might not know what we got going on, might not have watched for years, and might not know any of the superstars that we've been presenting on television. And within the first hour, WWE gave you The Rock. WWE gave you Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. They gave you John Cena. I mean, I can't think of a bigger trifecta in the history of WWE than those three men right there. WWE wanted to attract people that have been lapsed with the product, that have gone away, hoping that they come back to see what they're doing with familiar names in the fold, so that you stay watching and maybe watch next week and the week after that and the week after that. They did not do anything to forward storylines whatsoever tonight. Zero. Tonight mostly ended what we had coming into this show with it almost being set up as a fresh slate, a new canvas to paint on, new foundation. It's okay that you felt underwhelmed about that. I get it. I understand why they did what they did tonight. I understand the direction that they went. But sometimes they lean too much into attracting the casual viewer, and they don't do enough to make the people who are there every single week happy. And I find that to be a problem. You can attract new viewers and keep the fan base fucking happy and excited at the same time. You don't need to lean into one side more so over the other. And that's exactly what they did tonight. And as far as a 3-hour show, yes, it was big. Yes, there was a lot of people. Yes, everybody in the fucking city came out to watch WWE tonight in Los Angeles. Hollywood stars came out. Comedians came out. The biggest superstars in the history of the business were there. WWE did everything to attract that casual viewer and barely did anything to keep the existing fan base happy. Everybody knows The Rock, Roman Reigns, John Cena, The Undertaker, Hulk Hogan. These are names that WWE trotted out there. Oh shit, look, it's Hulk Hogan. He's still alive. Oh, look, it's The Undertaker, the American Badass coming out to Kid Rock. WWE certainly leans to more the casual viewer than their existing fan base. And it left a lot of people underwhelmed. The biggest problem that I have with the show, out of everything that we saw, the biggest problem that I have with the show is what The Rock came out there tonight and did, which was basically nothing. WWE used The Rock as a hype man. They used him as a cheerleader for the company on Netflix. Because let's be real, The Rock has already addressed the fact that Netflix signed WWE to a $5 billion contract over 10 years because of him and what he brings to the table now that he's on the board of directors. Not a CM Punk, not a Seth Rollins, not a Cody Rhodes. The Rock is naming himself specifically as the reason why Netflix signed a 10-year, $5 billion contract with WWE. He was sent out there as the first thing that you saw on the show. Smart! It was very smart. I probably would have done the same thing. But this is the part of the show that pissed me off more so than any other part of this 3-hour Raw tonight in Los Angeles. And the reason why I was pissed off, the reason why I was so pissed off is not because I'm not happy to see Dwayne on the show. I'm very happy that he's back. I enjoyed what he did so much last year at WrestleMania, during WrestleMania season. The transformation from what we saw in the beginning of January to what we saw transform into the final boss. The final boss was fucking absolutely incredible television. The beatdown of Cody Rhodes outside of his tour bus in the pouring rain with his blood smeared all over The Rock's weight belt with Mama Rhodes written on the back. Incredible television. Maybe one of the best endings to Monday Night Raw in the last 20 years. And that's what pissed me off so much. The Rock comes out as a proverbial cheerleader for the company, hyping up Netflix executives that are in the Skybox live at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, waving to them, going over to shake Nick Khan, and Ariel, or not Ariel, says hello, kisses his mother, hello, gets in the ring, acting like baby face Rock. I get it. I understand it completely. He's the cheerleader. He's on the board of directors. He's the final boss. He basically is everybody's boss. Coming out there, doing the fucking PR thing. I get it. Then he looks over at Cody Rhodes in the front row. The same Cody Rhodes that I just detailed was beaten up on the road to WrestleMania outside of his tour bus in the pouring rain with his blood smeared all over The Rock's weight belt as The Rock was going to dedicate a bloody weight belt to Mama Rhodes. Looks over at Cody Rhodes and says, without Cody Rhodes holding this company on his shoulders, carrying this company on his back during the last 365 days, it's a tremendous feat for Cody Rhodes, and I thank him and my gratitude to what Cody Rhodes has done over the last year. Gee, man, way to break character there. Are you sure this is the same Dwayne that we last saw after WrestleMania? What a year. What a year, man. A difference between this WrestleMania and last year's WrestleMania. So I'm thinking, all right, I'll let this one play out. This is just PR Rock, cheerleader Rock, going to bat for the fucking company that he stamped his name on. Great. Then we get Tribal Combat. Tribal Combat with Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. I would be happy if I never see another Tribal Combat match ever again. They're all the fucking same. They all end up the same way. Roman Reigns wins Tribal Combat. Roman Reigns is given the Ulafala. He's now once again the Tribal Chief of WWE, officially. The original Tribal Chief has once again regained his throne. Paul Heyman's out there, about to hand the Ulafala to Roman Reigns, and The Rock comes out. The Rock asks for the Ulafala. The Rock then hands the Ulafala to Roman Reigns. He walks back into the turnbuckle as Roman Reigns not once but twice throws the one in the air. And that is it. And that is all we see. One instance, two instance, three instance that WWE did not capitalize on, and we've got nothing. The Rock went out there to PR for the company, to just do the whole spiel about WWE being back in Los Angeles. Finally, The Rock has come back home, only to then give us nothing in the opening match. And it doesn't get any better. After The Rock was done with that segment, he walks through the curtain in the back and starts streaming live on Instagram, where he shares Terramana tequila with Cody Rhodes in the parking lot as Cody Rhodes' American Nightmare tour bus is in the background. And he starts drinking Terramana tequila with Cody Rhodes, starts hugging Cody Rhodes, and then nothing. He gets into his 4x4, he drives away, he says he'll see everybody tomorrow night live on NXT. And that's the last we saw The Rock for the rest of the show. When I tell you that WWE, presentation-wise tonight, hit a fucking grand slam twice, they did. When I tell you that WWE underwhelmed tonight, all you need to do is look at The Rock and the situation with The Rock, and you have every right to feel underwhelmed. The final boss was one of the most pivotal things maybe in WrestleMania history. It was a moment last January that changed the trajectory of WrestleMania from what could have been fucking awful to maybe one of the most memorable moments in the history of 40 years of WrestleMania. With an ending to Monday Night Raw on the road to WrestleMania 40 last year that will live on forever. With a Rock appearance that happened last year on the Raw after WrestleMania that left a wide open book for Rock and Cody Rhodes. Then we see The Rock show up at Bad Blood and put up the 3 fingers and the 3 slash. Cody, Roman, and Jimmy standing side by side by side. And then the next time we see The Rock, January 6th, tonight, he's in the middle of the ring, doing the whole PR spiel for WWE, highlighting all his billionaire friends in the front row and in the skybox, to hand the Ulafala to Roman with no progression to a fucking story that directly involves both of them, only to then go backstage and start hugging the fucking same guy that he beat the shit out of last year and left him bloodied outside of his fucking tour bus. If you're not upset with that, maybe you should start watching another fucking program. Because as far as a every week viewer, not casual who watches 1 week and then takes the fucking 3 months off to only come back and see, oh yeah, there's John Cena, oh yeah, there's Rock. The every week viewer, to see something like that on my screen tonight, not only insults my fucking intelligence, but my God, man, how could you be okay if you're Rock doing that after what we saw strategically placed with him on television in the months prior? To then see him hug Cody Rhodes as if nothing happened. You have every right to be underwhelmed and disappointed. WWE dropped the ball significantly. And I had to read through a bunch of simple-minded, half-witted, honestly fucking moronic takes when I said this same thing on social media. Oh, let it play out. Oh, The Rock is not going to be at WrestleMania. How the fuck do you know? Do you know how many people said on social media that The Rock is not going to be at this show? How many times did me on this show? How many times did me and Solomonster on TNT Tuesday nights, which by the way is coming back tomorrow night? How many times did we say, how many times did I say, Rock will be on Monday Night Raw, January 6th? So for the fact that these people are saying, oh, Rock is not going to be at WrestleMania, this all but confirms he's not going to be wrestling at WrestleMania. How the fuck do you know? Do you got on speed dial? Are you Nick Khan's fucking secretary? You burn on that stovetop for months now. The fuck do you mean let it slow burn? We've been getting a slow burn coming out of this fucking shit at SummerSlam. Waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Nothing happened at Bad Blood. Nothing happened at Survivor Series. Nothing happened at Saturday Night's Main Event. Yeah, let Triple H cook. Let Triple H slow burn. Motherfucker, you better turn that goddamn stovetop up to high. You've been running this shit at a fucking simmer for months now. On the one show where you needed something to happen on the road to WrestleMania, a show which you stated would be the official start to the road to WrestleMania, we got absolutely nothing in regards to a start of the road to WrestleMania. Wrestling fans are the dumbest fucking people walking God's green. They constantly take what is served to them and have this fucking high hope, these hopes for grandeur. They live in a fantasy realm. They don't live in a realm that is Earth. They don't live in reality. Let it play out. Let it slow burn. Let Triple H cook. Motherfucker, this bloodline story needed something to happen tonight. Tonight. Nobody expected Paul Heyman to turn on Roman Reigns, but I at least threw it out there on Friday Night SmackDown. Maybe Paul Heyman hands the Ulafala to Roman Reigns, but then doesn't. And The Rock comes out, which I thought was going to happen tonight. He handed the Ulafala to The Rock. I got it partially correct. But The Rock then handed the Ulafala to Roman Reigns. And then he looked at him as if everything was all right. Put his hand up. They shook hands. And Roman Reigns put the one up. That's it. Strike one. Neither Rock or Paul Heyman turned on Roman. That's actually strike one and strike two. Strike three, because this is where the people on social media continue to say, oh, let him cook, let it slow burn. Solo Sikoa, as a tribal chief, is a loser. He lost War Games, and he lost the Ulafala tonight. You don't think we should have seen an angle where Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga kick Solo Sikoa out of the bloodline? Because, let's be honest, folks, the new tribal chief is a terrible tribal chief, and he's led them to failure.
Exactly.
You don't think that they should have at least shot that angle tonight? We got nothing. WWE sent us home with Roman Reigns owning the Ulafala and the one in the air, man. All right, on to the next segment. 3 instances where a story could have progressed and nothing. 0. Yeah, but let him slow burn. When are we going to get Been waiting for it. August, September, October, November, December. This was the time to do it. This was the time to do it. We can't present The Rock as the final boss on the debut night on Netflix, man. We can't really present him as the bad guy. Motherfucker, everything regarding the WWE product when The Rock was the bad guy was when they did historical numbers beyond anything they've ever done before. Why couldn't we do that same thing here again tonight? We could have seen The Rock, Board of Directors Rock, come out to start the show, and then when the show started, final boss. Then we got him handing the Ulafala to Roman Reigns, and he's hugging Cody Rhodes backstage. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Why is my intelligence being insulted? I've just seen this man months ago, last year, leave a man bloodied outside of his fucking tour bus in the goddamn pouring rain, and today he's hugging him. You should be more bothered by the fact that WWE did nothing. Instead, you're all sitting there still waiting, like the good puppets that you are, because Triple H is kicking off the Netflix era. That's what pissed me off. I don't like intelligence insulted. I don't like having my time wasted. I put a lot into what I do here. I put a lot into watching this show to give you guys the best fucking product here from what we deliver that I possibly can. And when shit like that goes wrong and when shit like that happens, then I get mad. I'm going to go over the rest of what happened tonight in the very best way that I can. John Cena was on the show tonight. I think everybody kind of expected him to announce that he was going to be in the Royal Rumble. That's exactly what he did tonight. CM Punk and Seth Rollins, I thought they had a great match. I thought it was highly entertaining. Surprised by the outcome, because I think Rollins needed it more than CM Punk. But CM Punk beat Seth Rollins, and now he's officially announced himself for the Royal Rumble as well. So John Cena and CM Punk are numbers 1 and 2 so far, not drawing numbers 1 and 2, but they are the first two WWE stars to announce themselves for the Men's Royal Rumble. And we'll go Ripley and Liv Morgan. Rhea Ripley won the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship tonight, rightfully so. See a lot of fans on social media already dreading another reign from Rhea Ripley as if they didn't know where the storyline was going as soon as Liv Morgan won the championship last year. Don't act stupid. You expected this day to come, and tonight the day finally came. There was no surprises. We're going to go over the rest of this show the best that we can. We got 5,000 people in here tonight on this Monday, January 6th. Which is normally the massive amounts of support for what I do here right here. Part of the official Triple H era, the official start of the Triple H era in WWE. That was ingrained in the USA Network for over 20. And I thought that looked great. It just gave.
So John Cena lays out plans for farewell tour. Roman Reigns deserves an Emmy. We have Randy Aaron. We have WWE 2K25. We have the WWE 2K25 first look with CM Punk in the game. Andrew Zarian and Ritz with Dan Bowling. Okay. Do we still have the pre-show on?
Just found my actual dream bag on eBay. This super rare center from the Southern Philly sports card.
I mean, there's something to watch that and be like,
We got Triple H. Pretty sure this is the. I'm surprised the post show still on. They did announce Monday Night Raw next week. Yeah. So hold on.
locking myself into good stuff.
Next Monday in San Joe, California. Next Monday.
I don't know if I'm Rhea Ripley.
So I guess that's gonna end the pre-show. Wow. Well,
CM Punk.
Big E and
CM
Wade
Punk
Barrett
actually
are
tried
in
to
the
size up
commentary
Seth
scene.
Rollins, so we'll get to
This is on the post show on Netflix. We have Big E, Wade Barrett, and this other commentator talking. All the fans left. They're not moving the ring. Oh, CM Punk was in the post show. Yeah, so CM Punk was there. So we had Triple H, we had CM Punk, so
2024.
I'm ready.
so Jey Uso was also in the press conference. Rhea Ripley was in the press conference.
Lost the Judgment Day. This ended tonight.
Okay.
And being here in LA, I know we're not, in Laker country right now.
Well, the press conference is about to be over pretty soon. It's about to be over pretty soon. Good. We got John Cena, Roman Reigns. Rhea Ripley was in the press conference. CM Punk was in the press conference. We did Jimmy Uso. No, I think. Was it Jay? No, it was Jimmy. And then we saw CM Punk and Triple H in the press conference. I think that's about it. I think I talked about everything. Joe. That's it. There's nothing much to talk about here. Now let's go back to JD from New York.
No shit. Everyone wanted to push where they were tonight. We all kind of knew where they were. He also announced tonight was the largest arena gate in WWE history. Spoke about the need for great partners and gave a shout out to Netflix executives sitting in the skybox.
Do a wrist lock, or he did a wrist lock, and they said no, that's a hammer lock. It's just like, one of those embarrassing moments that just continues to live on. But to go from that to where he is today, it's quite the journey for John Cena. He said LA is where the prototype was born. He said LA is where he won his first world championship, which is true. That was in LA at WrestleMania 21. He says LA has allowed him to perform in this ring, and he thanked the fans.
And The Rock jokingly told Cody Rhodes to say hello to Mama Rhodes. Does that signify something is going to happen? Is that a little foreshadowing? We don't really know. Say hello to Mama Rhodes for me. Cody's laughing. Ah, that's a good one, man. Is that foreshadowing? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Rock also wanted to acknowledge Roman Reigns. Rock called him the original tribal chief. The world would be watching Reigns' match against Solo Sikoa. And he said he would be watching this one very, very closely. Rock closed with his signature catchphrase. And he went outside at the end of all this. And he went to hug Cody Rhodes. So he hugged Cody twice. Once live on television. And then again live on Instagram. While he was live streaming, drinking Terramana with Cody Rhodes. Total babyface in Rock tonight. Definitely executive board of directors Rock tonight to make sure everybody was happy with the presentation of Monday Night Raw. But I was hoping that with what we got from Rock in the open of this segment, which was definitely board of directors Rock, smooching up to all the executives. By the time the actual show started and we got some stories progressing on the show, that we would flip the switch to what we see with Rock being the final boss. I was hoping at this part of the show that this was all just, all right, man, let's play it up for the fucking billionaires. And when the show actually starts, let's get down to business.
Ahoy there! Can I be of assistance?
They moved Lillian Garcia over to Friday Night SmackDown. I'm not a big fan of Alicia Taylor. Makes me miss Samantha Irving a little bit. Too much. I think she tries way too hard. I think she's fine for what she does, but it just comes off very forced at times. So she's the official ring announcer of Monday Night Raw. Paul Heyman did the Roman Reigns introduction. We got Solo getting his entrance. entrance, Roman getting his entrance, Paul Heyman introducing Roman Reigns after Alicia introduced Solo. By the time the actual match started, it was 8:35 Eastern Time. 35 minutes to get to the first match of Monday Night Raw. Tribal Combat. This went 22 minutes. 22 minutes. Now, if you guys follow Dr. Chris Featherstone on social media, on X, he tweeted last night, and he just wanted to put the stamp of confirmation on it, which I think we all kind of knew because it was reported a few weeks back. But he wanted to reiterate because plans obviously changed with The Rock now involved, and he wanted to confirm that even with The Rock back, that the main event still is, and it is confirmed to be, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk on January 6th. So I figured last night when we saw that tweet from Dr. Chris Featherstone of Sportskeeda that it was probably going to be Roman Reigns opening the show with Solo Sikoa, because if Roman doesn't close, Roman always opens the show. It's just the way of the world in WWE. Roman doesn't go on in the middle of the show. He doesn't go on next to last. It's either open or close for Roman Reigns. There's absolutely no in between. 22 minutes. For everybody wondering, gee, man, I hate the censorship of the crowd on USA Network. You don't have to worry about that here on Netflix. Los Angeles was very vocal in regards to Solo Sikoa, so much so that the first chant that you got when the match started was, "Fuck you, Solo!" And we did not get any bleeping out of the audience tonight on Netflix. You heard it loud and proud in Los Angeles. Fuck you, Solo. Every fuck was audibly heard. Gee, man, I don't need TV 14. Just give me that. When you start censoring that, then the show it doesn't feel like a wrestling show, man. You're taking the fun out of the wrestling show when the fucking crowd are 50% of the reason why these shows are exciting. So we start the match. Michael Cole gave us a little bit of background as to why we're here. Always does a great job with that. Pat McAfee and Michael Cole were on commentary. They are the official team for Monday Night Raw. They were going back and forth. They found themselves in a collar and elbow tie-up for a little bit until they went to the outside. And Roman shoved Solo into the steel post. So they worked their way over to the announce table, and Solo gave Roman Reigns a Uranage, spinning Solo through, or not through, but on to the announce table. Solo also picked up a monitor and hit him in the face with it, and then picked up the steel steps and hit Roman Reigns in the face with it. So, this is Tribal Combat. There's no DQ. Anything goes. So, it's nice to see that they actually went and started using some weaponry around ringside to give us the idea that this is truly no rules. Normally, when we see Tribal Combat, it's like, all right, these guys are having a regular exhibition pro wrestling match, and then the bullshit starts happening. It's nice to see some weapons being used early on. We go to a commercial break. Fans love to complain, man. That's all we do on social media is complain, complain, complain. Supposedly, if you pay for the premium Netflix package, you are still getting commercial ads. I got a huge warning in the beginning of the stream. No matter what tier you are signed up for ads during this live stream. I pay for a premium package on Netflix. I pay whatever the $20 package is. I pay for the $20 package. I got commercial ads on Netflix. Supposedly, if you are an international Netflix watcher, you get no commercials. You get WWE sponsored ads, and you get the shit in between the commercial breaks, and then you get backstage segments. So if you want to use a VPN and you want to watch what the United Kingdom is watching, you got a VPN or access to a VPN, then by all means, man, you get no commercials on the international Netflix feed for Monday Night Raw. But the thing is, it wasn't as bad here in the States as it was on USA Network. I didn't really feel like they were bombarding you with commercials. I didn't. I would.
At Planet Fitness, no two members are alike.
And he's going to be the sentimental favorite for most of the fans who were watching that show and in the building that night. For him to go in there and win the Royal Rumble and get a championship match that way,
I just want to rewind and see his reaction to the tribal combat match.
and with Terramana, I could have product placement with it. Like, he was dressed like heel Rock, but we didn't get heel Rock tonight. So to see him and Cody palling around out there, and then later on in the back, it was just very fucking weird. Rock also wanted to acknowledge his cousin, Roman Reigns, and he called him the original tribal chief. The world would be watching his match coming up next with Solo Sikoa, and he would be watching as well.
Complaining, saying
He
that
closed with
this
his
doesn't make any
catchphrase,
sense
and then he
because
left
the
the ring and he went over to give Cody a hug.
and gave him no phone.
Maybe
Now all of
invite
a
him
sudden he turns on
over
him
for
and
dinner
take
one
the
night.
phone
You
and
bring
take
the wife,
Jacob out
I'll
too.
bring
And
mine,
now
you
he's
bring
saying,
the
I'm the
kids,
one who called the shot.
I'll bring all my kids, we'll have a good time. So we were 20 minutes into this show now, and Rock said that it was time to get this show on the road. And that was it. And I thought, well, maybe they're setting up for something later on. They want to throw us off a little bit. And we're gonna see Rock come out again later on. Something is gonna happen. Nothing happened. He did come back out, which I'm gonna talk about. But nothing happened. But the first match of the Netflix era, this will be a history note, trivia note one day, was Tribal Combat, pitting Roman Reigns actually wrestling on Raw. Can you believe it? When was the last time that happened? I know it was last year, but it was a long time ago. Roman Reigns wrestling on Monday night, one-on-one here with Solo Sikoa. This was Roman's first singles match since he lost the WWE Championship to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Solo was out to the ring first by himself. Roman then entered with Paul Heyman, who we found out on Friday would be basically placing the Ula Fala around the neck of the winner. He would present the Ula Fala to whoever
I got a
won.
big plan tonight.
Alicia
Don't
Taylor
worry.
is now the new
Roman
ring
Reigns
announcer
will
on
be
Mondays.
here.
They shifted Lillian Garcia over to Fridays. So she was in the ring to do the ring intros once they were in. Like it was a championship match.
He will face Jacob
Which I
first,
guess
too.
it was. It
Roman
was
Reigns
the
will
tribal
that
chief
Ula Fala
title,
line.
I guess.
He
So
will
it kind of was like a
against
championship.
Jacob too.
The title of tribal chief. The crowd
So after
chanted
he
"Fuck
beats
you,
Solo,
Solo,"
he's gonna face
and
Jacob
they
first.
did not censor it. Thank God. That is going to be my favorite part of Raw airing on Netflix now. Because not a lot else about the show is going to change. Like, we had same fucking commercials in the same spots tonight that we always have them. And production-wise, yeah, they're trying new things, but for the most part, it's the same show. But one of the most annoying things about the show before on USA, and we'll still have this on SmackDown and NXT, is whenever the crowd chants something naughty, they say "holy shit," if they say fuck you Cena, or whatever it is, they mute the crowd. They either just mute the crowd for like 10 seconds straight, or they mute and then they stop, and then they mute and then they stop. And it's the most annoying fucking thing. On Netflix, we don't have to worry about that. The crowd can chant the most foul thing that they can think of, and I don't think Netflix is going to censor the crowd chants. So that's one thing. That's one positive thing now about them streaming on Netflix. And 30 minutes in, we got our first commercial break. Unless you were watching international. Because I posed a question to you guys on Twitter. I'm like, all you international fans out there, I'm hearing you're not getting commercials. Is this the case? And sure enough, if you were watching Raw tonight, anywhere else but the United States, you might have gotten like a video package here and there, but you did not get commercials. We still have commercials here in the U.S., but evidently everywhere else in the world, no commercials. So when we go to commercial, the action is still going on. I think the commentary, like,
Nothing
the
makes
show
sense
just
tonight.
continues.
Some people say it doesn't
Now,
make sense
nothing
because the
major is going to happen until we come back. But you guys lucked out, and you don't got to worry about commercial. You lucky sons of bitches. I think I'm going to have to fire up my ExpressVPN for Raw from now on. That's what I think I'm going to have to do. Good thing I have a code. If you want that code, go check the description of this video. It's in there right now. You too can use ExpressVPN and circumvent these commercials on Raw in the future. See? Yeah, I'm always thinking. I'm always trying to help you guys out. Go take advantage of that. Roman was out there. He was wearing new Nikes. And people will follow. Here comes The Rock. No music. You see him in the background. He's sauntering on down the aisle. And nothing happened. Rock held the ropes open for him, and they left. It was disappointing that we didn't get anything. It didn't even have to necessarily involve The Rock. I mean, it could have been something else, but the other Bloodline members, we got nothing. We got nothing, except the most important thing, which is the end, seemingly, of this chapter of the Bloodline story with Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, and all this nonsense about Solo, I'm the tribal chief. I want to say this about Solo Sikoa. When this started, Solo Sikoa was out there, walking around like the Timu tribal chief. Okay, nobody bought into him, and I guess that was kind of the point. And they wanted you to boo him. He was a pretender to the throne, but they brought in Jacob, and it was just such a stark difference between the two, where it's like, that's the guy that should be leading this group. That's the guy you got to watch out for. That's the guy you got to keep your eye on. That guy's going to be a star. And I just didn't feel that way about Solo Sikoa, not in the same way. As the year has gone on, and Jacob to me is still easily the real star of the two, but as the year has gone on, I've warmed up to Solo as far as he's come out of his shell more. He's gotten more comfortable. When he talks or cuts promos, when he trash talks during his matches, these are all things we didn't see him doing before. He didn't really do a lot of talking at all. But he's come out of his shell and has shown a side of him that was not there 6 months ago, 9 months ago. So that's a positive. That's a plus. I like that. But you could not drag this out until WrestleMania. Nobody wanted to see this match at WrestleMania. Nobody wanted to see a battle for the Ulafala at WrestleMania between Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns. Better to end it here. Let Roman move on to something bigger. And that's what they did. They ended it here. There's nothing else to do with these two. There's no other matches. I mean, you want to run this match back on fucking Saturday night's main event? Okay, fine. Whatever. If you want to do one more match, I suppose you could, match on that show. But this is it. There's no more to be done here. Except with Solo Sikoa and the other Bloodline members. I wasn't expecting it to necessarily happen on this show. And I'm not upset about that. Because I do think that's something that you should save for Friday. So what I'm hoping for, now that this is all over here, we have another Solo Sikoa loss. He lost for the Bloodline in War Games. Not even just that his team lost. He himself lost in War Games. Now he has gone in there against Roman Reigns after talking all of this shit, turning Jacob Fatu into a believer. All right, I love you, Solo, and Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa. And he goes out there tonight, and he loses. He is a loser. Losing has to have consequences. The consequences for him should be Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga attacking him and turning against him and kicking him to the curb. And it should happen on SmackDown this Friday. Because otherwise, it just doesn't make any sense to me why they would still follow him around. He no longer has the Ulafala. He doesn't have it anymore. So why would they continue to pledge their love for him and follow him? They won't. They shouldn't. That's what I'll be watching for on SmackDown this Friday night. As far as Roman Reigns now and where he goes from here, there's only two names I keep coming back to. The most obvious one is The Rock, and they did fuck all tonight to give you any indication that that's on the agenda for WrestleMania. And the other one would be CM Punk, because that is a heavily rumored match for WrestleMania. That is a match that has been discussed internally, according to, I think it was Mike Johnson on PW Insight. broke the Royal Rumble story about them going to Saudi Arabia next year. It has been discussed internally to do Roman Reigns against CM Punk, play off of the whole favor that Paul Heyman owes Punk. Maybe they were going to wait, but they've seen the reaction to this whole thing, and they might want to do it at WrestleMania in Las Vegas. It's got to be one of those two. It's either Rock or Punk. But they didn't show their cards, if they even know. Again, it's all up to The Rock. Has The Rock even told them, yes, I will wrestle. No, I will not. I don't know. So it's up to him ultimately. Whatever he was going to want to do, they're not going to tell him no 2 years in a row. Right? The fans told him no last year. And he was able to, change and be like, okay, well, instead of going this way, we'll go that way. He adapted, okay? Good. Credit to him for that. It's not going to happen 2 years in a row. Whatever he wants to do, that's what he'll be doing. And we're going to have to wait to find out what that is. Now, there was a segment here, and I'm pretty sure this only aired internationally. So all my international fans will let me know. But I believe on the international, because I didn't see this, but Jackie Redmond.
Oh, it's a direction you can fuck.
There he is. See? Kofi Kingston said that they were supposed to have a match.
My favorite thing.
To Roman Reigns. He's a loser. Solo even said himself, if Roman gets the Ulafala back, you, Tamatonga, and me need to acknowledge Roman as the tribal chief. That was not acknowledged tonight. WWE played it safe in every aspect for a story that needs something. And they gave us nothing. Something should have been done. Don't listen to these people. Oh, let's wait. Oh, let them cook. Oh, let it slow burn. Oh, you're impatient. Oh, you're complaining about this, and you complain about Tony Khan not doing stories, and you're complaining about Tony to let it play out and all these things and blah, blah, blah. I've waited and waited and waited and waited. I don't know how many times you can fucking wait for something to reveal itself. Survivor Series was a big enough show to have something reveal itself. They didn't. Bad Blood was a big enough show and a big enough match to have something reveal itself. They did nothing. Now you mean to tell me the biggest Monday Night Raw of all time with Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, Roman Reigns, and The Rock in the same fucking ring, and you tell me nothing happened? If there was a night to do anything, all eyes were on this show. When will we see The Rock again? I don't fucking know. You think this is going to happen on SmackDown? No, it's not going to happen on SmackDown. When do we get Rock again? I don't know. Does he show up in the Rumble? I don't know. Is he going to be at WrestleMania? I don't know. What is he doing at WrestleMania? Fuck do I know? We should have got a little bit more of a breadcrumb trail tonight with what Rock is doing. If he's going to be there or he's not going to be there. We did not get any sort of a direction at all. And the most offensive and the most egregious thing about it all is this guy's parading around backstage hugging the man who he left bloodied outside of his tour bus last year. For absolutely no reason. I get that The Rock can do whatever the fuck he wants, and he's got his own rhyme or reason for doing what he wants. But you can't jump all over the place and then come back to something after fans complain. What happens when that comes off to you? You think it's chaotic.
Man, that was a long post show, and now it's over. There's the highlights.
Still waiting on what happened in April. Still waiting on why he did what he did in October at Bad Blood. I'm sorry, guys, if I am a little critical of the thing that I watch weekly. But the more you understand that, I loathe having my intelligence insulted, and I hate when people tell me to be patient when this bloodline story has already felt like it needs to end. I don't know. I can only hope that come Friday night, come SmackDown, we get some sort of angle playing out with the bloodline, because I don't know how Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu could look at Solo Sikoa as a fucking leader. Because he automatically said himself, if Roman wins and takes the Ulafala back, everybody has to acknowledge Roman as the troubleshooter. At least give us that. The bloodline story is over. Is there going to be a bloodline 2.0? Is Jacob Fatu going to be the leader of the bloodline? Are there going to be new bloodline members? Is this where we see Hikuleo come on in? I don't know. What is Roman doing at WrestleMania? Is Roman going to be in the Royal Rumble? Answers. Give us something. Tonight was the night to do that. New Day. Jackie interviewed Kofi Kingston and Xavier.
I think I made this long enough. I'm gonna end the video. Until next time, hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with more. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Until next time, this is Jacob Cast 2024. I'll see y'all later.